Welcome to another episode. If you're new here, my name's Carly. I'm a dietitian and trainer talking about different nutrition and fitness related topics centered around reaching your goals in a realistic and sustainable way. So making them stick and getting out of the 0 to 100 approach and the cycle of fad diets. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about 5 things to do when feeling unmotivated. It is winter here in Minnesota. It is cold out. It gets dark at like 5 p.m. And so it's common to feel a lack of motivation for that reason. However, feeling unmotivated is so common and so normal when talking about fitness goals in general. So no matter who you are, no one is ever motivated 100% of the time. So if you're in that winter slump currently or unmotivated for whatever reason, it's okay. I see you. Working with and understanding yourself and when feeling unmotivated is so important and impactful on how you show up for yourself on a day-to-day basis with the little things, which impacts the big things long term. So if you're not new here, you know that there is no such thing as a quick fix or magic pill. These 5 tips do require your choice and your effort, but can help you make little shifts to push through, release resistance, and learn just more about yourself and what you need, and in result can help you reach and sustain your goals with more ease. So diving right into it, the 5 tips I have are: number 1, self-reflection; number 2, visualization; 3, fine-tuning your goals; 4, focusing on a reward to release resistance; and 5, feeling the fear and doing it anyway. I'm going to jump right into it, starting with self-reflection. So everybody goes through cycles of feeling unmotivated. Like I said in the beginning, it is so normal. The point of self-reflection is not to just try to suck it up and push through, but to start by understanding the cause of your feelings and your own needs. So getting to the root cause of the lack of motivation, which could be a variety of things. Again, it could be the cold winter weather. It could be because you're feeling exhausted. Maybe you're working long hours, taking care of your kids after work. Maybe you feel like you're so far from your end goal that it can feel unmotivating to even start. So again, there's so many reasons for feeling unmotivated, and every single one of those reasons are valid. So having that inner dialogue with yourself and understanding the root cause. If you feel unmotivated, ask yourself why. Get down to that root cause and call it out. It can be easy to sometimes just get immediately frustrated with ourselves the second we feel unmotivated, and that frustration can just add more resistance. So if we can add in some self-compassion, it's easier to move through the resistance. The inner work in this when making a behavior change for a fitness or nutrition goal requires you to be your biggest supporter, and that starts with understanding yourself. There's no way around it. So I'm going to pick a random example to continue to explain these 5 tips. So my example here is I feel unmotivated to do my daily workout because I'm exhausted after a long work day. So applying that first part of self-reflection here is I'm acknowledging the fact that I'm having a hard time doing my daily workout because I feel tired after work. So again, it can be big or small. There's no right or wrong answer. The second part of self-reflection is understanding what your needs are and what is going to serve you best. So you are the only person that can truly understand your own needs and how you feel. We are all human, so it's important to develop the self-trust of knowing what is truly going to serve you, even if it feels uncomfortable. So going back to my example, there may be some days where I'm exhausted after work and I'm not feeling my workout, and going to bed early and skipping my workout is what is going to serve me best, both mentally and physically. On the other hand, there are times where I am still exhausted after work, but following through with my goals and commitments to myself and showing up to work out in that example is going to serve me the best in the end. So that is the second part here, getting to the root cause of the lack of motivation, but also understanding what you need that is going to best serve you, again, even if it feels uncomfortable. So this is where the self-trust really comes into play. This decision is not up to anybody else but you, and sometimes it can take time to trust ourselves to skip a workout without feeling guilt and just move past it, or on the other hand, push ourselves through a workout in a compassionate way. So determining where you are you at the level of exhaustion where extra sleep is best for you mentally and physically? If so, then absolutely skip the workout, take care of yourself, release any guilt, wake up the next day and move on. It doesn't need to be a big deal or be that deep. The second option of that is, yes, I'm tired, but I know that pushing myself through this workout, even if it's uncomfortable, is going to serve me best. When it comes to sustaining a fitness or nutrition goal long term, it's important to have this inner dialogue on a day-to-day basis, because this is what's going to prevent the 0 to 100 mindset of either not following through with what you want to do like at all long term, or feeling like you have to go 100% all out to feel like you're being successful. So I'll continue to build off of that, but that is tip number 1, self-reflection. Moving to the second tip, which is visualization and focusing on the feeling of the end goal. This is a common tip and it's talked about all over, but being able to visualize what you want to accomplish in your head first can make it so much more likely to follow through and implement. So visualizing yourself, doing the things that you want to do, making it a reality in your brain first, and tuning into how you will feel after you accomplish what you want can help push through and release some of that resistance and discomfort. For me personally, there was a time where I was so busy. There was a season in my life where I had to wake up very early in the morning to get a workout in. And I did this visualization every night before I went to sleep. And now I do this on a daily basis. So going back to my example of being tired after work, but deciding to work out anyway, because that's going to serve me best. If I want to work out after work or in the morning, I'm going to take some time to visualize myself doing that. So I'm going to picture in my head, getting done with work, driving to the gym. Maybe I'm preparing myself in that visualization for those feelings or discomfort or resistance that may come up, but practicing in my head of acknowledging them and pushing through on my drive there. And when I get to the gym, picturing myself crushing my workout, listening to good music, and then tuning into the feeling after. I think it's common to say that nobody ever regrets getting through a workout or getting to the end of whatever goal you want to reach. So feeling into that feeling of accomplishment and the satisfaction of showing up and committing to yourself beforehand. So this can be applied to any nutrition or fitness goal. If you want to eat healthier in the evening, visualize yourself doing that, making it real in your head first. There's so much research all over on the benefits of visualization, but when it comes to fitness and nutrition coaching, I think it's impactful to build confidence and release some self-doubt. If you have a goal that you want to achieve, but it's really hard to picture yourself doing it in your head first, the more likely it is to have that resistance or limiting beliefs that can prevent you from following through with it. So, tip 2, visualization, picturing yourself doing whatever it is you want to do, practice in your head, working through the discomfort, prepare yourself to create that in your reality. So that leads me to tip number 3, which is fine-tuning your goals. I've talked about SMART goals before and the importance of starting small and increasing your momentum, but this is especially important when building off of visualization and working through different periods of feeling unmotivated. So say you have a goal and you're having a hard time visualizing that goal in your head with confidence to start, and that's kind of causing the lack of motivation. Fine-tuning that goal a little bit and starting a little smaller can help. This is not a setback or a failure or a weakness. It's helping yourself build off of small steps first to create a foundation that you're going to maintain. So say I truly cannot picture myself getting up in the morning before work to work out, and I keep having that self-doubt and that same cycle every morning that I'm looping in of trying to wake up early to work out, not being able to. That may be a good indication of fine-tuning my goal to build my confidence first. That does not mean in any way that a person will never get up at 5 a.m. to work out or they should give up. That is the opposite point of this. It's to start somewhere small, to take steps forward, to work through that cycle. So when we have these like crazy lofty goals without any small goals in between building up to that, it can be hard for any person mentally to be consistent with it. So that's where we see the 0 to 100 approach and that hamster wheel cycle of going all in and then burning out. So if I'm visualizing and I know myself and I'm doing the self-reflection and I'm like, honestly, this does not seem realistic for me in my head to do right now, that's where I can fine-tune. Fine-tuning goals, it's going to look different for everybody. But for me, in my example, that could be working out on my lunch break or doing a 20-minute workout and getting a little extra sleep instead of a 2-hour workout. It's important to still go out of your comfort zone, of course, when visualizing, and it's perfectly good to feel that discomfort, but this can help push us forward a little bit when we're feeling just completely stuck. So, taking a small step back, building confidence there, and then slowly moving forward towards your bigger goals once you've built a foundation. So, step 3, fine-tuning your goals, taking a little bit of pressure off when you're in that cycle of feeling unmotivated. Start a little bit smaller to create some momentum. Tip number 4 is giving yourself some sort of reward that can motivate you to focus on. This can be helpful when we're talking about those days where, again, we're just not feeling it. We need some support to get ourselves through. It can be something small, but it can shift the focus off of the resistance and discomfort and put the focus onto something else to look forward to. There are so many examples here, but my personal favorite is getting a coffee after a good workout or accomplishing a goal. Say I'm struggling to wake up for my morning workout, but I know it's best for me. Instead of keeping my focus on how tired I am in the morning when my alarm goes off or how much I'm dreading getting out of bed and working out, I'm immediately shifting that focus onto the amazing coffee I'm going to have after and how good it will feel once I make it to the coffee. It can seem silly when I'm explaining it out loud, but noticing the shift mentally when you implement this can really help. So think of something small you can do as an act of self-care to celebrate yourself after you accomplish what you want to. You don't have to wait to celebrate yourself until after you reach your bigger end goal. It's so good to celebrate yourself in the little small things that you do, because in reality, the bigger end goals that you do accomplish are made up of those small things on a day-to-day basis. So if I want to lose X amount of weight, for an example, long term, and part of that is me working out 4 days a week, I'm going to celebrate myself and give myself small rewards leading up to that bigger end goal, especially on the days where it's hard. It can also be examples like watching your favorite show on Netflix after you crush your workout after work. It can be anything, again, taking the resistance off of what you don't want to do and finding something to look forward to after. I also want to make clear here, you definitely don't need to work out to enjoy or earn watching your favorite show or doing something nice for yourself. Of course not. That is not what I'm saying. But again, more so taking the focus off of what you're dreading, putting it onto something more positive that you can look forward to after. That brings me to my last tip, which is feeling the fear and the discomfort and doing it anyway. This is a little bit of tough love with all of the compassionate empathy, but sometimes we all need to hear it. So the first tip, I started off emphasizing the importance of self-reflection, understanding your own needs and being your biggest supporter, doing all of that as a priority first, spending time to visualize, adjusting goals, focusing on rewards to help. All of those things can help guide us back on track. However, again, tough love here. Sometimes we just got to feel the fear and the discomfort and push through and do it anyway. Sometimes we got to get up, look in the mirror, take accountability, and know that we are entirely up to ourselves. We are our biggest competition, and only we can change ourselves. I've been here so many times, and I have so much empathy for people, myself, and working through challenges. But sometimes in the end, it's helpful to understand the power of your own choice and how you choose to show up for yourself. We are all going to have days, weeks, months that are not on track or we feel off. But knowing that true sustainable change is never linear and the ups and downs are a part of the process, and the downs are sometimes the points that actually push us forward. So with all the self-compassion, it's helpful to challenge ourselves, to choose self-discipline, keep getting up, keep pushing through, and moving forward. So those are my 5 tips. Quick, practical things that can be done when feeling unmotivated: self-reflection, visualization, fine-tuning goals, rewards, and feeling the fear and doing it anyway. If you are in that winter slump or feeling unmotivated, it is okay. It is normal. I see you. You got this. And I know that you can push through if you choose to. So these tips can be applied to any fitness or nutrition-related goal. If you need recipe or home workout inspo, you can check out my website to learn more. But that is the end of today's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.